Great work, MAGA Mike Johnson. It seems that the government is going to have yet another shutdown because MAGA Mike sent the House of Representatives home for a vacation. And even though the Senate appears poised to enter into a horrible compromise to keep the government opened in order to pass this appropriations bill, which I'll talk about in a second, because there are some alterations to the House appropriations bill, the Senate bill has to get sent back to the House where they have to pass an identical copy of the Senate bill. But guess what? MAGA Mike's been too busy partying with Nicki Minaj and doing other things that have nothing to do with the American people that the House of Representatives is no longer in Washington, D.C. They are on vacation yet again. So let's talk about what's going down. Now, MAGA Mike says, by the way, he's going to call the House back and they're going to try to make it by Sunday. But lots of people are saying we can't make it back by Sunday. So I think the earliest a vote is going to take place on this compromise, which I'll talk about in a moment, because I do not like this compromise, would be putting it lightly. In fact, I despise it. But in any event, people won't get back Sunday or Monday, and a shutdown will take place Saturday at 12 a.m. So here's what we believe is happening right now, that Senate GOP leaders have hotlined, as Andrew Desiderio says, have hotlined a new funding agreement. 5 funding bills paired with a 2-week CR, continuing resolution, for the Department of Homeland Security. Amendment requests are now rolling in. So what does that mean? What MAGA Mike tried to do is do this minibus that put all of these different department fundings together in one, including the Department of Homeland Security, which has additional funding for ICE and Border Patrol Gestapo. What the Senate said, because the Democrats were opposing and rejecting additional funding to ICE and Border Patrol, is let's remove the Department of Homeland Security funding in total, since the Democrats opposed that. Let's pass the 5 appropriations bills that don't involve Department of Homeland Security, so those 5 get passed. Excise those, pass those. Then separately, do what's called a continuing resolution regarding the Department of Homeland Security just for a 2-week period. So the rest gets passed and is funded for the appropriate period of time. The DHS, which funds Border Patrol and ICE, that just gets funded for 2 more weeks, while then the Democrats say we're going to, in the Senate, Schumer and all the other people say, then we're going to negotiate for the things that we want to do with respect to ICE and Border Patrol, that you have to get rid of the masks of the Border Patrol agents, and they have to wear body cams and better training. In my view, you can't compromise with authoritarians. ICE and Border Patrol need to be abolished. The individuals who have been terrorizing and torturing communities need to be prosecuted at the level of Trump appointees and officials. They need to be impeached and prosecuted. So I don't want to see any compromising at all. But now that a compromise is going to happen, and it's going to be a 2-week extension of DHS, which means Border Patrol and ICE get funded for another 2 weeks. I think they shouldn't be funded for another frickin' day, if you ask me. But now it goes to the House, but the House is nowhere to be found. And now you have MAGA Republicans in the House like Anna Paulina Luna and others saying every single appropriations bill that is voted out of the House and sent back to the Senate must have what they're calling the SAVE Act attached to it, which basically is the plan to federalize the elections in the midterms in order to manipulate it, is what the MAGA Republicans want to do. As Jake Sherman says, this is going to be a problem with DHS coming back to the House, which is why the GOP leadership is so concerned. There are going to be many asks now, because what's expected, although I'm sure Donald Trump will call up Anna Paulina Luna and others people and say, don't do it. You have to listen to Donald. Listen to what I say. And then they'll fold. But we'll see what happens in the House. But it seems like there's going to be some issues in the House. So the shutdown, to be clear, takes place Saturday, 12:01 a.m. Basically at midnight on Friday, we are in a shutdown. The House isn't going to be able to make it back on Friday. So here's what we know is happening. Jake Sherman reports. The House Republican leadership is considering trying to bring the House back on Sunday if the Senate clears the 6 bills tonight. Unclear if they will be able to, but they'll have to make a decision very soon. Getting members back will be tough. House is back Monday either way. So we'll have this shutdown for a day, 2 days, maybe 3 days, or maybe more. Andrew Sullender writes, liberal groups already broadcasting opposition to the Schumer deal. Move On spokesperson Britt Jakovich, who I know well. We had the Move On folks to talk about the No Kings protest yesterday. Britt says the following. Leader Schumer should ask the Minnesotans who are watching their neighbors get killed in cold blood if a deal with no plan to stop ICE is enough right now. You think we want to do a deal with ICE and Border Patrol, Gestapo right now? Literally a paramilitary group? There's no negotiating in good faith with these people at all. And they're not going to agree to any compromises. They're Gestapo, they're SS, they're paramilitary. What do you think they're going to do? Donald Trump says that he would support a funding deal, says he doesn't want another government shutdown right now. So he's trying to send a message to people like Anna Paulina in the House. Show back up, approve this thing, and get this thing funded, which is another reason that we should all realize that this is just funding his paramilitary. Like, that's what this is about. In any event, MAGA Mike screwed it all up by taking this vacation. MAGA Mike himself, he's still in the House right now. He's been partying with Nicki Minaj. MAGA Mike was asked by reporters, Nora McKee, a reporter, if he thinks there should be an independent investigation into what's been going on in Minnesota. Let's play this clip.
Should there be an independent investigation into what's going on in Minnesota?
I'm not going to forecast that. That's for the administration to look into.
So MAGA Mike says that he will not forecast whether there should be an independent investigation. That's for the administration to look into. You don't have a position, MAGA Mike, if independent investigations should take place. Again, I don't care what side of the political aisle you're on, Democrat, Independent, Republican. You're okay with MAGA Mike saying he doesn't know, he can't form his own opinion as the Speaker of the House about whether there should be an independent investigation, and that's for the administration to decide. But what has MAGA Mike been doing while the MAGA Republicans have been on vacation? Well, MAGA Mike has been giving speeches at events with Nicki Minaj, and here he talks about how things are great, and he makes this post on social media saying that we've been doing a great job and everything's going amazing, and all of these bad days are behind us, and we're soaring as a nation right now, and everyone's being wealthy in this nation. Here, play this clip.
The Republican-led Congress got right to work. We worked to steer this country of ours back toward common sense and to undo all of the damage that was really wrought by the 4 years of Bidenomics. We had a lot to fix. As you know, we inherited a real mess. The unmitigated crisis at our border was the number one issue in the 2024 election because we had to correct that. But it was also the economy. And decades high inflation was fueled by failures of Bidenomics. And it was a serious problem for all American families. 4 long years we had to endure that. The only solutions offered during that time were by the Biden administration, the Democrats in charge. They wanted another government program. They wanted another federal agency. They wanted more taxes and more government spending. And I am here to declare to you today what you have all seen demonstrated. Those days are now behind us, and we are so grateful for that. Yes.
And here's what MAGA Mike had to say about Nicki Minaj during his speech. Let's play this clip.
So great to be with you all. I was delighted to come out, but I did not want to follow Nicki Minaj, okay? I told her backstage I almost wore that coat today, and I'm so glad that I didn't. Really, it is such a great privilege to join you all today.
Now, in addition, Donald Trump ranting and raving like a maniac. He says, based on the fact that Canada has wrongfully, illegally, and steadfastly refused to certify the Gulfstream 500, 600, 700, and 800 jets, We are hereby decertifying their Bombardier Global Express and all aircraft made in Canada. If for any reason the situation is not immediately corrected, I'm going to charge Canada a 50% tariff on any and all aircraft sold into the United States of America. Thank you for your attention to this matter. More ranting and raving like a lunatic of Donald Trump. Earlier today, Donald Trump also said that I don't want to drive housing prices down at a cabinet meeting. He goes, I don't want to lower housing prices. Here, play this clip.
Again, existing housing, people that own their homes, we're going to keep them wealthy. We're going to keep those prices up. We're not going to destroy the value of their homes so that somebody that didn't work very hard can buy a home. We're going to make it easier to buy. We're going to get interest rates down. But I want to protect the people that for the first time in their lives feel good about themselves. They feel like that they're wealthy people. And I want them to understand it. There's so much talk about, we're going to drive housing prices down. I don't want to drive housing prices down. I want to drive housing prices up for people that own their homes. And they can be assured that's what's going to happen.
And this follows Donald Trump repeatedly saying that he believes affordability isn't an issue anymore. Remember a speech in Iowa where he said, I don't believe affordability is a problem for Americans. Let's play this clip.
And they come up with this word affordability. And I saw it even, although you're not hearing it so much anymore. You know why? Because the prices are coming down so much. They don't want it to be an election based on lower prices. But we're bringing down the lower, I like that term better. It's the lower prices. We're bringing them down.
And then you have Donald Trump's Energy Secretary, Chris Wright, say that Donald Trump, by bringing back coal, saved hundreds of lives during the recent cold weather throughout the United States. Play this clip.
And coal production is growing again in the United States after years of decline. And this beautiful, clean coal was the MVP of the huge cold snap we're in right now. I can say with some confidence, hundreds of American lives have been saved because of your leaning in and stopping the killing of coal and revitalizing coal.
And finally, new video is surfacing of Greg Beavino in Minnesota saying that this is our effing city. This is our effing city. We run this. We run this shit. This is Greg Beavino before the murder of Alex Pretty and Renee Nicole Good. Here, play this clip.
The city is a team. Fucking ours is our fucking city. Arrest as many people that touch you as you want to. Those are the general orders all the way to the top. Everybody fucking gets it if they touch you. You hear what I'm saying? Less lethals. We're going to look at shipping tractor trailer loads of that shit in here. So you catch what it's all about us now. It ain't about them. Professional, legal, ethical, moral. You know what we're talking about. Legal, ethical, moral. You're on camera. But other than